They keep asking me where I'm from. I said I'm from the A, but it's not Atlanta. It's the A for AUG. If you from that town, stand up, then turn up. I'm from that time, where everybody walking around with hammers. I'm from that time. We all get slept on like pajamas. I'm from that time. The A, but no, it's not Atlanta. I'm from that time. Just listen how I talk my country grammar. From that time. AUG, I reside, niggas running high. When I laser on my side with 4 hoes on my side, they trying to give me a prize like Cracker Jack. Well, you niggas Roger back before I won't bring Roger back. We gonna talk shit like Pampers, you sweet as a Fanta. All we do when the club is ball like cancer. They round here wearing all black like Panthers. While your wife and your girlfriend might be scribbles or dancer. For real though, we round here again for real though. My Spaz Island loose throw, he still winning no Super Bowl. Old schools on 24, front teeth, full of gold, drinking liquor, 2 gone. Ain't flexing, just blowing strong. I'm from that time, where everybody walking around with hammers. I'm from that time, we all get slept on like pajamas. I'm from that time, the A, but no, it's not Atlanta. I'm from that time, just listen how I talk my country grammar. I'm from that time, 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 I'm from.
What's up, people? What's going on? How you doing? How you been? Where you at? It's your boy JC. I'm just an author with a lot to say. Coming to you tonight on a special edition. We got some people in the building tonight, man, and we are going to discuss something that has been plaguing many households since, I guess, the dawn of time. But before I get into all that, I just want to tell everybody welcome. Instead of going through the pre-ritual thing we always do, I'm just going to keep it simplified. Everybody, links are in the description. Please go there and follow, check them out, see what they're about and everything. For those of you that want an extension of this live, please go to the three-headed monster link in the description and click on it and enjoy yourself. The only rule we ask is don't sit up and hold the wall up. You got to at least say good morning at least once a week or something. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sitting in there laughing at people's jokes and taking notes and shit and just pulling stuff for other people and other groups. You know what I'm saying? Disclaimer. Don't come in here with the bullshit as you seen what happened last night and what had happened in recent past. You come in with bullshit, you're going to get embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful this is public, so anything you say, it's a public record, and people will be watching. You know what I'm saying? If you're around your grandparents, well, tonight's show ain't going to be like that. But usually if you're around your grandparents, your parents, your kids, I prefer you to have your earphones on because you already know how Bugg is. He'll come out, say anything, and have your grandmother saying, oh, my. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, the opinions expressed of each individual in this panel and also in the chat is opinion of their own. So with that being said, let's get with it. Tonight, we have a situation with a young lady. I'm going to let her tell the story. I don't want to say too much. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she wants y'all to know, I'm going to let her tell it. But if you're listening to this, you need to share it. You know somebody that's been in a similar situation, I prefer you to share it. And if you got some advice for the lady, please share it. And for the people in the chat, if your comment don't get displayed or read, please don't get upset. Just understand you got 7 people on the chat, and you know we are on pretty much limited time. If you're listening, please hit the like button, subscribe. Well, not subscribe, sorry. Follow JC the author. Follow the people that are going to be on the panel. Hit the like button, the heart, or the happy face, or whatever you feel is equivalent to this live. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get started with the bros first in the building with his cigarette and his $1 million equipment. What's up, baby?
Yo, what's happening, bro?
Hey, man. How you doing, bro?
You know me. Ready to go.
That's what it is. Mr. Waves himself in the building. Buggy Mike check.
Mic check. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. Hey, y'all ladies, don't let that smile fool y'all. That motherfucker is a beast, boy. What's up,
Savage.
bro? How was your day?
Tired, man. You know, first day back to work, boy. It was hard not having that 9 o'clock, sleeping at 9 o'clock. Oh, man.
Hey, man. I
Yeah,
understand.
I'm ready to crash right now.
I understand. Okay. My author friend Kilo in the building. What's up, KL?
Nothing going on.
What it
How are
do,
you all
Kilo?
doing?
My
Hey.
motivational friend. She look here. She got some two-toe hair on tonight. Well, hey, I ain't mean to cut your date short, but hey, tell that joker he'll be all right if he works.
This is the first time I've been home since 6:30 this morning.
Well, you know how it is. Busy people.
That's
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, I got a new friend in the house. What's up, Aunt Angela Smith? What's up, lady?
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
Look at her. She got the
Hello.
little
All
dog.
right,
Look at. All right, how you doing? All right then. You been okay? How was your day?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Oh, it's
Peachy.
good.
It's been
Yeah,
great. It's been great.
Hey, you look a little cheeky. We see you a little cheeky over there. That's all right. Make my screen look good. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it is. Yeah. Now this next person I'm finna introduce, I'm not gonna say her last name because I butcher it, and I guess I'm the only person that can't get it right. She got this name, man. Look, I ain't gonna even talk about it no more. Yeah, Aunt Shay in the building.
What's up?
If y'all don't remember, I interviewed her a few weeks ago, and we had a blast. How you doing? How was your day?
It was awesome. Can't complain.
That's what it is. All right, great to have y'all on. Now the lady of the evening. What's up, Kay? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys?
All right. Look at
Good.
okay. She got the little white background. How you doing, lady? Got a little
I'm
hoodie
okay.
on. Okay then.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on to tell your story, and we are hoping that some kind of way we will be able to somebody listening, or maybe from somebody on the chat, that maybe we could help you or give some good advice through the situation. But before I turn this thing over to Shay, let me see who all in the building so far that has spoken. Chelsea in the building. What's up? As always, on time. How are you doing, Chelsea? If you know somebody that needs to hear this tonight, go on and share it to their inbox. They ain't gotta know. Double V in the building. What's up, family? How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming through. Oh, there go my Hawaii buddy. Better dancing. I'm better dancing for you with a tutu. No. How you doing, Miss Rose? How you doing? Great. Appreciate you coming through. All right. Shay, you ready?
And now I'm about to go on mute.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna let so y'all can get some more room on the thing, but I'll be here and I'll be on from time to time if necessary. Okay? All right, baby, let's get it. It's on you, Shay.
It's on me. Hi, everybody. We are here with the beautiful woman, Queen Kay, and she's going to tell us a little about her story. And maybe we can help her with whatever is going on right now. So, Kay, tell your story, honey. It's your time to shine.
Well, guess I'll start from the beginning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically I left my ex-husband 15 years ago, actually. And it's been 15 years basically of more hell that not only myself and my kids have been going through, but different as well. Of course, it was a very abusive marriage when we were together. I endured a a lot. Okay. And nevertheless, I, finally got the strength to leave for the final time. And of course, he assured me that, if I didn't come back that last time, that he would, keep his promise to me. And basically, his promise has always been to make my life a living hell until he decided to kill me. And he would always assure me, that with his training, um, let me tell you, he's military. So, he would assure me with his training that he can make it look like an accident. So basically, he's been doing every single thing that he promised me that he would do. Um, I've been dealing with stalk, and all of it on since I left him 15 years ago. Currently, my kids and I were actually still in hiding. Um, it's a lot. My kids, he basically has taken my kids' childhood away. Um, I mean, a few years ago, I had to pull my kids out of school and start homeschooling them because of the stalking and constant harassment from him. And, my kids, they're a lot older now. They're teenagers, practically grown, obviously. But, prior to pulling them out of school, if it wasn't every week, it was every other week. He constantly would send police, CPS, to our house. Like, I mean, it was just like on the clock, like almost every single week. If it wasn't the cops, it was the CPS workers. Then they would constantly go to my kids' school, whether, they were always happened to be at lunch. My kids would tell me how embarrassed they would be having cops and police to constantly come to their school and pull them away from their friends. I mean, this was something that my kids dealt with on the regular. Not only that, he tried to get them put out of school. So nevertheless, we end up just, deciding to just do homeschool. Before we would leave our house, of course, like our garage, it has no windows, or they had no windows because we had to leave there, but it had no windows. So, the kids would always have to wait in the car while I go check all the windows, because a lot of times this man would just be sitting outside of our home. And like I said, we've been dealing with this for so long. And when I've gone to the police all of these years, I would basically always get told the same thing, that I have to basically wait until he try and lay hands on me again, which to me, still to this day, that makes absolutely no sense, because I seen so many people, in the same situation, and they're no longer here anymore, and then it's like my kid's biggest fear that he will get me. Now he's currently trying to, another way he's been stalking me is, of course, through courts. Like I say, it's been 15 years since our divorce. And between 2005 and 2014, he's only seen my kids like 5 times. When I mean seen them, actually went to like pick them up and try and spend time, because following me around, sitting outside my house, that does not count as being a father or trying to be involved in their lives. Even when he would have my kids, he would always speak to my kids about me instead of, like a regular mother, father, I'm sorry, mother-child or father-child relationship. It's never been that. And I know he needs serious help. But as I say, when I would try and tell him to get help, I would always get beat for that. And like I said, it's been this long, and I can tell he's gotten worse. Every time I turn around, he's filed a new case. And that's what he told me in 2013, that he will continue to file cases in the courtroom. I mean, if that's what he has to do to see me. It's never been about seeing my kids. I mean, it's never been about spending time with my kids. All of this is just, to me, it's just punishment. It's just been 15 years of hell that I've been enduring, and my kids as well. I kind of feel like I'm rambling, but
it's your time.
I
You're giving
mean, my kids and I, like, we need help. Like, currently, at the very moment that I'm aware of, he has 2 cases. Well, one of them actually I know about. He just dropped it, but it's 2 cases. So now we're needing another lawyer, and like these 2 cases, they're actually in Texas. So we're needing another lawyer in Texas because the lawyers where we reside at in Georgia, they can't practice there. And I don't know. It's just a lot. And my thing is, like I say, he's military. So, of course, in Texas, we find out that he's friends with the judges there and the prosecutors on the cases. And to me, that's like a conflict of interest, and it shouldn't be, but they will not, the courts, they won't listen to me. They won't listen to my kids.
So what
I
is
know
the court
this
saying?
one. I'm sorry.
What is the court saying?
Basically, it's just about him, giving him every single thing he wants. What they're saying is I haven't been following the court orders. So, of course, the court orders is for him to get my kids. Of course, every other holiday, and all of that. And I'm supposed to let him know, things pertaining to my kids. But as I have told previous lawyers, previous judges, he's never been interested in any of that. Like when my kids were younger, I would, try and get him to follow the court order. He never wanted to get my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Is he still active in the military, or is he not active in the military?
He's still active.
So what is the military saying?
Okay. So currently at this very moment, they have an open investigation on him again. And I just have to pretty much wait, because this would be the second time that I went to them.
Can I ask a question?
And
who did you talk to in the military? Did you talk to his corporal?
No, not this time. The first time, or the last time prior to this, yes. But this very last time, this was someone just through like the courts of military, the JAG. That's who contacted me. And so he told me that he would get back with me. It's been like 2 days now. Well, today makes 2 days. So I've yet to hear anything yet. So preferably I'll hear something tomorrow. But he said he was going to check with the lawyers what was going on, because a couple of years ago, or the other year actually, one of my old associate, she got the military. Someone she spoke to, because she's ex-military. So she got them to put a no contact order. So, because he, like I said, he's been harassing and stalking me all of this time. So that was done. But I think that only lasted, I don't know, like 6 months. Because after that was over, things started back up. So, but yeah, like he's like now currently trying to force me to give him our safe location, and like
illegal. He cannot do that. So, are you in a safe house?
No,
Or are you
No, I think she's in her own residence.
I'm just like located that he know. Like he wants address of wherever I am, and I was supposed to him last week and do that because, like I said, I don't feel safe. My kids don't feel safe. I hardly sleep because of this. My daughter have nightmares of him finding us. I mean, I didn't give him the location because, as I was telling the old lawyer and the judge, he only used my address just to harass me and to stalk me. He's never used it to try and see my kid.
So, another question: what court systems do you have involved? Is child courts involved, or just divorce court? I mean, what courts are involved? Can you hear me?
Because yes, I think it's all the same because this is still like it's now a custody case. Basically, it's what's going on now. Yeah. So that's what that is. And then the other case is a felony case. So yeah. But those are two different courts.
Now, are this all in Texas?
Yeah.
So,
and that's why I was told that.
So you're in Georgia, right? Correct.
Correct.
So have you tried to reach out to the family courts there in Georgia to let them know that your children are in danger and you want to see if they can do something about it?
I have. I haven't.
What can you private
concern.
message me the county that you're in? Can you private message me the county that you're in? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Put
Now,
the county up. I'm trying to figure out something.
Yeah, I have one quick question. With everything that has been transpiring over the 15 years, because I saw your story and I looked at some of the other videos that you created, and I know you had mentioned the fact of the things that you have reported to the police and to the military, that those things pretty much have mysteriously disappeared to make him look as if nothing was happening, nothing was taking place. And the fact of you being in the hospital and whatnot, do you have documentation for yourself?
Yeah, that's where I don't have anything from back then, no. But
Because
I was able to.
Anything that transpires, especially when it's dealing with your safety and the safety of your children, you have to keep your own documentation, just in general. The government is corrupt. Some parts of the military, you have corrupt people everywhere. When it comes to medical records, you have to keep your own documentation and you have to keep your own track record. you know, when it came to the point of him stalking, we need to write down the date, the time, what he was wearing, the whole entire, everything, every description that you have, because that's building your case. You become your own lawyer at that point in time. With what's happening and what's going on and what you've been through, it's like you got to defend yourself. Unfortunately, you got to prove what he's doing. Even though other people are covering it up, you got to prove what he's doing. And honestly, I commend you for leaving 15 years ago, because you got to love yourself. You know, I was listening to the fact that you all married young and everything, but the thing is, you can't find your love in nobody else. You got to love yourself first. It's all about you and your children. That's all that matters now. Whether he gets help or not, that's on him. But at this point, when you walked out that door and you left with your children, it's about you and your children. So we got to make sure that you are in the right state of mind to do what you need to do. You got to be strong. You can't give in. You can't get discouraged. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It is. I've never been through physical abuse, but I've gone through the marriage with the mental abuse and the emotional abuse. And it takes strength. And it takes people in your corner to encourage you and to help you stand strong. So you can't do this by yourself. And that's what you've been trying to do. You've been trying to do this and fight everybody by yourself. And you can't do it.
Yeah, it takes a village. I've been through the physical and the mental.
Yeah. I mean, everything I can for my kids. That's much trouble now because I eat and breathe for my kids. You know what I mean? So all of this stuff I've been doing for the safety of my kids, because the courts, they're not listening to me. They're not listening to my kids, you know? And I don't know. I don't know what else to do. But
documentation.
If I may, if I may interject. In addition to what you ladies have already told her, especially what you said, Kilo, I'm former military. I'm a Marine. I've seen these things happen before, not to your extent of 15 years, which I'm very, very glad that you got out of your situation where you did the best that you can, because as of right now, you're not completely out of your situation. I'm going to tell you the one thing that I learned in the military. Everybody has a boss. Your ex-husband, regardless of what his situation is, has a boss, and that boss has a boss, and that boss of the boss has a boss. You need to, what I would suggest, I'm not going to say what you need to do, because only you know what you need to do. What I would suggest, just like even my wife said in the comments, his first sergeant or his staff sergeant, I wouldn't need much go that low. What I would suggest to you, because the worst thing that could happen to anybody in the military is their first sergeant getting a phone call from the base general because somebody's mom called because they haven't heard from them in a week, or because your situation. Those are the worst kinds of phone calls to ever get. And when you do that, even if you do it in an email, which I would probably prefer you do it in an email, I would do it in an email, and I would send every bit of documentation, annotating every harassment, and not just the recent ones. Start from the beginning and put all of it in there, and you send that email. You find out who the commanding general or the commanding officer is of that base, and whoever the commanding sergeant major is of that base, and you send that to just those two. Those the two who you need to talk to, because even if one of them skip over it and say, "Yeah, no, I'm good on that," sergeant major ain't gonna play, because sergeant major don't like getting those types of things. And if the commanding officer gets it and talks to the sergeant major about it, they ain't gonna do nothing but piss the sergeant major off worse. Action is going to have to happen after that. because now it's gone above. It's just like how we was talking yesterday about the units doing everything to keep everything in-house. Now it's gone above in-house. And the people who sitting there trying to protect certain individuals, their little star pupils or their little ass kissers or whatever it is that they are, they're out of the loop now. They can't do nothing except for, at this point, now that it's somebody above them hand, they can't do nothing except for take an order and do what they got to do, regardless of if they wanted to or not. And at the end of the day, he's going to get screwed because all this time of him being in the military, when it's all said and done, it's going to be for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happened, and it's possible. It almost happened to me off a false claim, but I know that these things can be worked out from the top. You have to go to the top.
Right.
Everybody has a boss. It doesn't matter how much power he thinks that he has. Everybody in the military, when they get some rank, think that they got some power. Trust me, everybody think that. But everybody, unless you the dang on president, everybody got to take an order.
Everybody got somebody to answer to.
Everybody got somebody to answer to at the end of the day.
That's it.
So you just need to stop. I'm sorry. I keep saying you need. I'm a Taurus. I'm very forceful. My bad. I would suggest that you skip the lower peons and go to the top.
Okay. That's it.
And if that doesn't work, you can always go ahead and hit a congressman. You can go hit the congressman from wherever his place of residency is. Not his place of residency, his original home, and in Texas. So now you're getting double. There's a lot of ways that you could go about doing this that I have actually seen work.
And the ones in Georgia, they ready. Because I was just talking to them before I left. They ready. When I tell you they ready. Because I was just talking to some of them before I left Georgia. I'm in South Carolina now, but I was just in Georgia in February. You know, I'm a domestic violence advocate. I'm trying to get some things passed because I feel like domestic violence perpetrators should be registered just like sex offenders.
Yeah,
That's right.
Right. Absolutely.
I feel like they should be registered. So I'm gonna give you some people to contact in Georgia because, like I say, I was talking to some people before I left.
Okay. And look, I that's what I did this last time. I forgot what it's called, but you go on the website, on the Air Force website, and I sent emails because that's how the military came out and spoke with me in 2017 because email, which I still have that email still to this day, but that's how they contacted me again this time because I was told that my emails that I sent this time again, they went to someone, he said, in very high ranking. And he said that's why he was contacting me. So, I just assumed that, I don't know, that something's going to be done this time. Because, like, even when the lady came and met with me, when I contacted him last time, she told me out her own mouth, she's like, he's one of those, he looks really good on paper. So I see why, they've been covering stuff up for him. She's like, he looks really good on paper. She's like, but when I met him, she's like, I saw right through him, and how he was being, towards her and stuff once they started, speaking and, so, I mean, he can't really hide who he is, but like my fear, and I guess I don't know, I need to stop being fearful, but, just from the previous conversation is like the worst thing, they end up putting him out. And well, I know if they put him out, he's gonna come for me again, Like that's like, I guess, like my biggest fear now, you know, with them investigating him.
Okay, my thing for you with the statement that you just made, don't try to protect him.
Yes, don't.
If he gets put out the military, no. But the thing is,
trying to protect him. I think
don't
what she's saying is
subconsciously think about that part.
I think what she's saying is that she's fearful that when he gets out, now there's nobody else to control him and nobody else to hold him accountable for, because out in the civilian world, she won't have anybody on top to go to. You know what I'm saying? So now he has all this free time. He doesn't have to be at PT. He doesn't have to be at the range. He doesn't have to be here. He's a civilian now. Whatever he decides to do with his time, that's what he ends up doing with his time. If his time, that's what she's fearful of. His time being used to look for her and to harass her and the kids is more.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Saying that,
but at the same time, he won't have that military covering.
Right.
So that's the part that I'm looking at. He won't have that military covering, but I can see what you're saying about that idle time.
Right.
So you got to play this carefully.
When I contacted him last time, in 2017, that's why we had to like leave our home then, because of course when he found out, it really pissed him off, and he just came after me even harder. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Overstood.
I mean, it was horrible. So I can only imagine like what's going, because he's aware now. So I can only imagine, you know, like what he's planning now. Do you get what I mean? And then on top of that, he's trying to have me punished for not giving him my location again, you know?
So do you not have any type of Do you not have any type of protective orders against him?
No, not currently, but I spoke with a lawyer here in Georgia today, and they're working to put one in place. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have. Do you
have any? I was about to ask the same question that Chelsea asking is, do you have any personal protection? Do you own a firearm? Are you allowed to carry a firearm? Do you know how to use a firearm?
Oh, absolutely. Because of him, I've taken, over the years, I've taken classes. I know how to protect myself. Okay. You know.
That's the first
because of the case that he has going on, I had to get rid of all of my guns because he's trying to have a felony put on my record. And I know, just like I was here and had a warrant and had no idea, you know, because he went and lied to the courts again. Like, I just don't understand, like, how the courts, how they don't see the pattern of the things that he's been doing. All he does is lie. Like, that's all he's been doing for 15 years is just lying, you know, but it's been no consequences for him. He continues to be able to just lie, you know. That's like, even like with CPS, I can give you about 70 reports. At the end of them, there was no truth to anything. Each time the police come to my home, my family members' home, my homes, all of these years, there's never any of the lies he's told.
Do you have a copy of all those reports?
Not anymore. I have some, but I mean, like, I can get them. But
whatever
all that documentation, get it.
Whatever you have, it's just like Angela said. You need to harass his people the way that he's harassing you.
Yep.
Because they're not going. There's nothing worse than coming home off of a 3-day weekend or coming off of a march and going to your email and seeing this lady keeps sending me these same dang on emails every day. They can't ignore it forever. They cannot. and
They've
they're going to have to do
15
something.
years.
And I understand that because it's probably because a lot of changeover that happens within the military, especially leadership positions and things like this don't get over a course of 15 years. He probably done had 6 different COs at least, and none of those things, in which each CEO a different sergeant major, and none of those things got passed down and whatnot, and it goes quicker down to the company and the platoon level, and none of these things are still getting passed down.
Right.
That's how come I tell you to go to the base general, whoever the base general is, because that dude, he's going to be there for a while, because most base generals are at the end of their career, and this is their last hurrah before they retire. And the last thing they want to have to deal with when they about to retire is scandal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last thing because when you get up to a certain level in the ranking system, it's all about politics at this point. And when it comes with politics, scandals are the worst things for politics. This would be a scandal for any high-ranking officer and or senior NCO at any base, knowing that they knew this, but they didn't pass it down, much less do anything about it.
Now you'll hear the messed up part. Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey.
I would like to commend you for being as strong as you are and dealing with what you're dealing with, protecting your kids. And, I'm sure, it's life is very stressful for you, has been for you for the last 15 years. I can only add to what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did hear you mention something about family. I hadn't heard you say anything about family the entire time we've been talking about, your family, somebody that you can talk to that knows what's going on. They don't really have to know all the details, but, know what's going on in your life. But the one thing I want to say to you that I think you should do is whoever it is that you're talking to, and Miss Cole said it earlier, and I taught this to my child. When you make a telephone call, the first thing you do is ask that person what their name is. You write their name down, you write the time down, you talk to them. That way, when you get ready to speak on, talk to somebody about that person, you don't have to say that man or this lady. You know their name, you know what time you talk to them, you know what you write down, what you talk to them about. That way you have your record, and the thing about writing stuff down and signing your name to it and turning it into court, that's a legal document. I mean, you swear under oath that you abide by whatever it is that you're saying. Getting your documentation from everything that has taken place since anything that you can round up. You need to have it. You need to put it. You need to have it. You need to get triple copies of it. Give it to family members and tell them to hold on to it. So anybody close to you, you know what I'm saying? That way you have this type of documentation. Secondly, if you're able, any type of surveillance, cameras, any type of recording devices, anything that you have access to, you need to start working on getting that kind of stuff. Those stuff like that, if he comes to your place of residency, if he comes to your place of residency and he's hanging around outside of your house, around your windows, and he's not supposed to be there, you have, all you call the cops. You got video footage of him being there. He's not supposed to be there. Those type of things like that. I mean, a lot of times we don't think about it. We need those things, but sometimes those kind of things like that, they're protected. And believe it or not, they're very cheap. You can buy that stuff online. I mean, they got spy cameras, little surveillance cameras as small as a pin, the tip of a pin that you can't even see. They'll be able to make out that person, but that person won't be able to see that camera. So
don't have to go through no big company to get it.
Because at the end of the day, you have to think about protecting yourself, and you have to protect the kids.
Yes.
You have to protect your household.
Right.
So a fella like that, I wish I could meet up with him.
For sure.
And have a conversation with him.
Say word.
Be the best conversation, but you know, like I said, I commend
For me,
you.
it will. I'll feel great after it.
You know, for what you're doing. I mean, I've dealt with a situation like this before myself. It wasn't to this extreme, but I can tell you it's a very stressful situation to have to deal with. You telling somebody, you know, let's not do this, leave this alone, whatever the case may be, and they steady coming, and you got to keep telling them no, and they steady coming, and you got to keep telling them. It's a very stressful situation. You know, it causes you to want to really hurt somebody, you know. So, but I pray that things work out for you, and I hope and pray that you take the time to do the things that you need to do. Like everybody has been saying, get those protective orders. If a protective order runs out in 6 months,
get another
one.
When it runs out, you need to be already down now, getting another 6 months protective order. You know, I'm sure it's probably not cheap. I'm sure it's not. But I mean, you reach out. I'm sure I'll give you some money. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure people out there would look to help with situations like this. Because I hate to see anything happen to you. Hate to see anything happen to your children.
That's right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you're doing all that you can. It don't sound like you get very much help from the military. And as you know, as Vader said, he's former military, so he can tell you a lot about it. I can't speak on the military. I can speak on civilian life, you know, and keep calling. If he come to show up at your house, you call the cops. If they decide they're gonna start coming out there, whoever coming to your house, whatever cop shows up, write down his name, write down his badge
number.
You write all that down. And once he leaves there, give him 2 or 3 days, and you go down to the jailhouse and you ask for that report, because you need to know if he followed up with what you told him. And if he ain't followed up with the report, hey, I need to know why this man didn't write up what I told him.
Absolutely.
You know, those type of things you got to do. It's a lot, but it's going to protect you in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Because if it ever came down to the point where you had to use a gun, you got documentation to show why you had to use it, why you had to use that force. You know, everybody don't understand that. You know, they like you say, or like the lady said, she can see right through him. On paper, he looks good. He's clean cut guy. We never think he would do these things, but behind closed doors, he giving you all this help. And you need to do all you can to protect yourself.
I want to add to that real quick. In addition to what Buzz said, you had said something earlier about him trying to get you a felony, so you have to get rid of your guns. I'm gonna tell you this right now: until you get that felony, you keep your guns.
Wait, like, okay, see, that's like, because like I said, I've never been in trouble. And so, you know, I can't let anything happen to my kids because like I'm all they got. You get what I mean? So like when I found out about the warrant, like I was just, you know, I like almost lost my marbles because I'm just, you know, I've never, so that's like the first thing I thought. I'm like, you know, oh my gosh, like I got to get rid of these, you know, because I know, you know,
you don't have to get rid of those guns until you've been convicted of. Well, I'm gonna need you to go get at least one of them back. As of this moment right now, you are legally able to have a firearm, even if it's just in your home and you don't have a carrying permit. You are legally able to have your gun in your house and in your car, which is an extension of your house. So I'm gonna need you to go get at least one of those.
Like on my thing, on my, because like that's the case that I'm fighting now as well. So when you put, like, for instance, if you do a background check, it'll say pending felony. Like normally when you do a background check on me, it comes up no record found. You know, when you do all states. statewide ever.
But that's just what it is.
Now
it's pending. It's pending.
And my thing, that's another thing. I don't understand, like, how, because really quick, let me tell you guys how that even came about. Like I said, he went to the court. He lied to get custody of my kids, right? Nevertheless, the judge that, got that case, they found out that should have never happened. So, but the same day that he received custody, he went that day and filed that report. And so that's where the warrant and all of that, because he did like a kidnapping on me, saying I kidnapped my own kids that he hadn't seen in like 6 years, or even tried to see. But, now he's finally admitted in court that he never even wanted anything to do with my kids. And still to this day, he wants nothing to do with them. So I'm trying to see, why are these cases even still going on? Like, it makes no sense. Like I said, I think it's just the whole military thing there in Texas, because like that's why my kids got me to do the videos, because like that's their fear of something happening to me. And so like they would use those videos as proof that I've been trying to get help all of these years,
Right.
But
I'll say this, as long as it says pending, you're okay. Until until you get something that says that you are actually a felon, you are okay. And even after you become a felon, if you were to become a felon, there are ways to go about getting that taken off. You could still have your firearm.
Hey,
I'm gonna suggest protect yourself at all costs, felony or no felony.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right quick, and I'm gonna get back to y'all. We're not gonna give away the location, but I know a couple. When you get your guns back, I know a couple that'll go come and take you to a fire range somewhere.
Do you feel any better? Do you think you got any places to reach out to now?
Well, and if you don't know how already, they could teach you how to use a weapon. I know a couple right now that would go and have your ass shoot from both hands with two guns. I'm just saying. That's all I got to say.
I'm pretty fired with the gun. I'm pretty fired with them. So, yeah.
That's good to know.
Not only that, how old are your children?
So, my son, he's about to actually be 16. And my daughter's 17. So
okay, so at that age, they need to learn self-defense too.
Right.
Just a suggestion.
Yeah, I started them when they were younger. Teaching them, to shoot and stuff, but they don't. Like my daughter, she don't really, like guns, but my son,
Well, I would say shooting and hand-to-hand combat.
Self-defense, whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
Let me add this little tidbit of information. In a lot of states, and I know Georgia is one. I want to say Texas is another one. I'm not sure on that, but I know Georgia is definitely in this. When kids get to a certain age, and their parents have divorced, the kids can actually make the decision and take it out of the court's hands on who they
want to stay with. That's at age 13. At age 13.
It's 12 in Georgia.
Yeah, it's 13.
However, yeah. So I had been telling the lawyer that we had, I had been telling her that. I'm like, my kids are practically grown. There's no need for us to be in this case for a year because it's been going on over a year now. Okay. I'm like, they can just, speak. And she's like, no, Kay, it doesn't work that way. I mean, to me, that's why I know she's no longer with us now. It seemed like she she just didn't seem right because
Yeah,
she
you
never
need to
wanted my
find her
kids.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Oh, she gone. So before we could even do that, she ended up withdrawing because I had already told her, I'm like, you're there in Texas. You're supposed to be a voice for my kids and I. Not only that, you see how old my kids are, you know, and then he's trying to come have the cops arrest me here in Georgia because my kids refuse visits with him.
They old
You know,
enough to
I
make
mean,
that decision, though.
Yeah. They're old
exactly.
enough.
Like I told the lawyer, and she was getting upset with me. She's like, "Hey, you have to make them." I'm like, "My kids are not 4 and 5 years old. If they say
Right.
they don't want to spend time with him, and you are aware of everything that he's been doing, I mean, what am I gonna? They're just as tall as I am. I'm 5'2". My kid's like taller than me. Like, what am I gonna do? Pick them up, and you know, I can't make them. You know, and she would get upset with me because, you know, my kids are refusing visits.
I would also
So,
suggest to the point of not only just regular documentation about phone calls. As a matter of fact, like, you know, like Bugg was saying, dealing with the video camera and everything, if there's a phone call, record it.
Record it.
You have
I did.
audio, you have, you know, time stamp, everything. But even dealing with the lawyers, I would say get to the point that you don't just leave it in their hands. You know, deal with the cell phone, internet, everything. Look up the law and tell them, well, this law specifically says X, Y, and Z. So if it's written in the law book, that's what we abide by.
She didn't like when I did that.
I got
the lawyer.
This is not about your lawyer. This is about you.
And
That means you're doing their job.
Go ahead.
When you're going to record, if you're going to voice record like on the telephone, you need to make sure you make that person aware that you're doing it. That way it becomes a legal document. Has to be legally, like, okay, I'm recording this conversation so that you know. That way if they say something, it won't be thrown out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Texas Family Code 153.009.
There you go.
Under Texas Family Code 153.009, children have a voice, but in a more practical way. Sections 153.099 allow parents to request that the judge speak with their child if the child is age 12 or older. The judge must meet with the child. Keyword of that statement is must. If the child is 12, is not 12, the judge isn't required to meet with the child. It's just because they're not required doesn't mean that they won't do it.
Mm-hmm. And if the lawyer refused, the judge refused, notate that as well. You keep a running document of what he's doing, what the lawyer's doing, what the judge is doing, whatever's being said. Keep your own documentation, because when you build a case, you can't deny that.
Gotta have them names though.
That's right. Everybody's name, rank, serial number, social security number, get it all.
Because at the end of the day, if it all boils down to it, you can start having illnesses and whatnot. You can sue their behinds.
Yep.
You can start suing for stress and everything else you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, having to keep relocating your kids and all that. You are entitled to be paid for everything you dealt with in the last 15 years. You should be getting paid for it.
And that's why we're looking for a lawyer to help us with that as well. Because, like I said, I'm not even concerned about myself. Like I said, it's been a lot on me. I don't even believe. But my kids, you know, the trauma that this has caused them, it's a lot. You know, like my kids and I, we were just talking about, you know, stuff that's going on, you know, this morning. Like this stuff has really affected them. You know, they not only that, my daughter, she's afraid to go away to college next year because of him. You know, I mean, my daughter shouldn't be afraid to go to college, you know. I mean, like we've been doing all of this stuff, you know, planning, like, you know, all of this stuff to prepare her for that. And now she's, you know, she's afraid, you know, that he's going to start doing the same thing, you know, all over again when he found out where, she's going to be located at.
She's at a legal age. He doesn't have to know anything.
Right.
At all.
But
He does not have to know where those children are.
Right. But I'm saying he has ways of finding things out. That's just like the lady who came to visit me from the military. She told me that that's how he had been tracking me, by using the military computers, using different devices that the military has. That's how he has been doing this all of these years. I know it sounds crazy, but
no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
and I'm sure
crazy.
she was supposed to be telling me this stuff, but this is what this man has been doing to me and my kids for 15 years. And like I say, I don't know what's going to happen with, the investigation that the military is doing now, but I know this is going to tick him off even more. So I know he's going to, try to retaliate and try to find me again. That's why I had to get rid of, all of my vehicles. Like, I have nothing in my name because I was told that's another way he had been tracking me, through the DMV. He shouldn't have records to all of this stuff. Then he'll, sign up with accounts using my name, my information, because of course he still has, all of my information. But I mean, he's able to just continue to do all of the stuff, and he gets away with it, and with my kids, I don't know.
So if he's doing all that, using your information, using your identification and your number, that's identity theft.
Yeah, that's a crime. Y'all
So
not
have you tried to I understand you're trying to protect yourself and everything, but have you tried to file a lawsuit against him?
Yeah, that's a crime.
Because that's illegal.
No, I haven't. I just
think about it. Like we said, we're making suggestions. We can't force you to do anything. We're making suggestions. Just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's time to put him on the run.
Right. That's just like the thing with I spoke to the IRS. Here I had to speak to them because every year I go to do my taxes, I have to pay them because he always used my kids. It's someone that's never in their life. All he pays is the $690 the last 15 years. Every time they try and increase, because the lady that I last spoke to from the previous case, she's like supposed to be paying like 17, close to $2,000 a month, all these years. However, each time for 15 years, every single time they try and do like a modification to increase, he files for custody. So my thing is like, don't you guys see a pattern what he's doing? And not only that, like, the money that he's always paid, $690, that's my kids' allowance money. That's always been their allowance. So when he came up with an idea in court a few months ago, he said he'll leave me and my kids be. I wouldn't have to give him my location as long as he didn't have to start back paying the $690, and as long as they didn't modify his child support.
That's a lie.
My kids be.
Don't believe that.
So
that's a lie.
No, well,
Don't
yeah, I know.
that.
So I'm like, finally, but the thing about it is, I had been telling him that's, part of what all of this was about from the beginning, but nevertheless, it didn't, go through or what have you. And what he's doing now, what I feel he's doing is just extending the cases out. Because like I said, it's been over a year now that they've been dragging this case out. And now his lawyer tells me she's trying to make me pay him almost $20,000. Like, what am I paying him for? She's trying to get me to pay him $20,000 because my kids, part of the court order, the temporary orders, my kids were supposed to call him every single night. Mind you, basically 16 and 17-year-old. I'm supposed to make them call him every single night and visit with him, whenever he wants them to visit. So that's why I'm having to pay him like $18,000, almost $20,000.
That's their choice. They want to talk to him. Once kids reach a certain age, they don't have to communicate with that. If he was trying to have a relationship with his kids, it's as simple as this here. He could purchase them cell phones, and he can have the number to call them. Right. He can call them. He ain't got to deal with you whatsoever. So I mean, all that's a bunch of crap.
My point. See, why do you all see it, but the courts in Texas, they don't see it? This is what I've been telling them. And then all of that, like someone that's really been trying to have a relationship with their kids, do you really think they would go 6 years without seeing them? Do you really think that he would continue stalking and harassing their mother instead of trying to be in the kid's life? The courts, like I literally laid everything out on the table. It's like they're just ignoring my voice. They're ignoring my kids.
Let me just suggest something. How I feel about the court system and attorneys and all of that kind of stuff. Those people are in the business of making money. So as long as they can drag this stuff out, they're gonna continue to get paid. That's all this is about at the end of the day. So again,
and that's why I like Shay's suggestion of suing him, because now you got a lawyer who's trying to get that money more.
You got to do what you got to do. You entitled. 15 years of this, you entitled. You need to go back and get all the documentation that you can round up.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, from what I'm hearing, just this little hour and 15 minutes we've been talking, you have a whole story. That you can sit in front of somebody and tell, about how your life, because he's basically, like you said, if y'all separated 15 years ago, that means your kids were 1 and 2. Except 16 and 17 now. So like you say, they've missed out on their entire childhood.
Their whole childhood.
Relocating, making new friends, can't go to school, got to be homeschooled. That's a whole lot to have to deal with, as a parent and as a child. So I mean, this is all honesty. This is bigger than what we're talking about tonight. And I really wish that you could get in front of somebody on national TV and tell this damn story, because that's where it needs to be heard.
I've been trying. Right.
I mean, I would write like, Good Morning America. I would write that ass. I would write. Today's Show. I would write that. I would write that. Huh?
For the last 5 years, I've been writing every news radio station in Georgia and Texas. Doing that the last 5 years, but
you tried.
All of them pretty much.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Police.
Have you ever reached out to Steve Harvey?
They all just tell me. Yeah, I reached out to him too. I still have emails that I've sent.
I know he's.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak so much. But I appreciate, all of you guys. But yeah, I can contact everybody, like all the talk show hosts, all the radios, the news stations, but no one ever, So.
Yeah, this has been oh man, if Lifetime was ever a story or something that can go on Lifetime, this is definitely
it.
Would be it. Man, we want a good outcome in this thing, because there are at least three people lives at stake, and we want to if anybody on that's listening want to reach out to her, you can hit me on my email.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you can hit me on my email. Yeah, we can hear you. You can hit me on my email, and I will forward it to her. If you got something that you think can help her, I will definitely forward it to her, and it'll be up to her if she can if she wants to hit y'all back. I appreciate this. Man, we're gonna do last words before we get out of here, man. I ain't rushing nobody off. Take your time, but we're gonna start with Kilo. You got anything you want in the show with?
Yes, sir. As I said before, I want to commend you on what you've gone through. You have a story that will save a lot of women. I know that you're still going through this situation. However, there are a lot of women that need to hear your story. I want to encourage you, don't give up the fight. Don't stop fighting. Make sure you take care of yourself. I understand you said you're not worried about yourself, that you want to focus on your children, but you got to understand if you're not strong, they're not strong.
Absolutely.
So you're going to have to take care of yourself, a peace of mind. I don't go in a corner. I don't know if you pray, but girl, pray, because you can't do this by yourself. You cannot do this by yourself at all whatsoever. Get you an inner circle of some people that are going to be there to support you and back you up. Don't try to fight this all by yourself. You need a strong support system. I don't know if you have a close relationship with any relatives or anything like that, but you can get in contact with me when it comes to your children. I'm an educator as well. I'm a math teacher, so if you need help assistance with that, hit me up. You need somebody to talk to, hit me up. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. So I'm putting myself out here for you.
That's what it
That's
is.
my words to you. Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it.
Well, I already told you I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I know.
Yeah, we.
Yes.
You already know. Like I told you, personally, and here and now, I know it's a lot. I've been through it. So I understand the battle. But like she said, you saying you don't worry about you gotta take care of you too. Because if you don't take care of you, then you can't take care of them.
Yeah. Right.
So you are their strength. And they look at you for strength because you are their protector. Like I tell my girls all the time.
You're right.
I understand, it's gonna be all right. And you're gonna figure it out. But you gotta fight this battle like Kalo say, you gotta have a tribe. You can't do it by yourself.
That's right.
I already told you I'm here. She said she's here. So you got two on your tribe right now.
You got a support system right here. I'm gonna say this right here to you. Hold your head up high, smile. Understand you got a good support system right here. You know what I'm saying? If you need anything, John has your information. Just reach out to him and just let him know whatever it is you need. I'll do anything I can to help. So I have a daughter that's in college, got a son that's in college. So I mean, so my son is the same age as your well, not saying he's 18, so he's around the age of your children right now. My daughter's 23, but I mean anything that they may need, whatever type of assistance you may need, just reach out. I'll do anything I can to try to help your children, anything. I mean, like I say, this is a very hard situation to be in. And it takes a lot of support to be able to get through stuff like this right here. But I do want to tell you, hold your head high. Don't look down at the ground. Yeah. Because you've made it thus far.
Yeah.
And just keep being strong and keep on pushing forward.
Vader, last words.
I'm just right.
So I'm not even much gonna lie to you. I almost didn't come on today. I saw your story, and your story is very, very similar to my cousin's story. The only difference between your story and my cousin's story is that my cousin isn't here and hasn't been here for 22 years. Because when she decided that she was going to leave, he killed her. I'm very, very grateful that you are here.
Yeah.
I've been on trying to hold my little emotions in throughout this whole time that we've been on because of that. Because every time, everything was just so similar. Texas, all you leaving, all that. It just hit so much heart for me. But I don't think that I would have done you any justice if I hadn't came on and listened to your story. And I want you to know that just you being able to tell your story is a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength.
It does.
And you should know with that you had the strength to keep on and seeing it to the end, because there's so many who weren't able to see it to the end. This subject is really, really touchy for me. Like, I don't even much think anybody really knows that except for maybe my wife, because of my cousin. And I definitely wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't tell you, like everybody else has already said, if whatever you need and I can do not hesitate to reach out, because I live every day wishing that my cousin had reached out sooner instead of getting that phone call that morning. I would rather you reach out and me knowing that you doing something, and maybe I can, but I might not be able to, but I know somebody who may be able to, then know that you not going to make it. Keep pushing. And like everybody's already said, please, please, please take care of yourself too. Your mental state, your physical state, and your emotional state, and your spiritual state. You have to take care of all of that in order to keep going with the strength that you have. You, like Bugg said, you got a support system right here. That's all I
appreciate it.
Shay, I know you didn't, because you was off. You got in the last words before we turn it.
I would say my final words is, this is also deep and hard and close to my heart as well, because I've been through the situation of people stalking me and life conditions and switching out the movement of the kids and all of those things. And like I said before, your mental is always the toughest thing, because you got to be strong for your kids through the situation. So just know there's always, you got to reach out to whoever you need to, get your paperwork, whoever you need to call, the lawyers, all the above. Because I had a restraining order and they still didn't stop stalking me.
It's crazy, man.
Like I said before, it's rough, but I'm here. I've been through it. I walked it, so I get it. And I have my hard days. So like I tell you, I'm here. And I understand.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I am going to, I thought somebody said something. I am going to, I don't know how your address situation is, but I'm going to purchase KL's book as well as Shay's book.
It's free.
Well, that's fine. We're gonna get those to you. I don't know. Just give them your address and it'll be taken care of. And man, I don't, I really don't. I mean, the guys know the stuff I want to say, because I really want to curse and talk trash about the guy, the situation, but I just want things to work out for you and your family. And
that's right.
And if he's sick, I don't know his situation. I hope he can get help if it comes down to that. But more importantly, everybody's safe. Man, thank you for coming on. Okay. I'm definitely going to keep in keep in touch with you. You're gonna get tired of me, but you're gonna have to deal with it until your situation get straight. You always got as you said, you got a support system here. If you ever need an ear or whatever, and like I said, I know a couple that teach you some things at that gun range. So thank you so much, and we definitely keep in touch. Everybody that's listening, appreciate y'all coming through again. If y'all got something that you may some that you may have to offer to her, please email me. The link is in the description, or you can inbox me and I will forward it to her. We're not really giving that. And for those that saying hit channel 12, this is not local. This is not local. So I don't want to give a location away, but it's not local. It's Georgia, but it's not local. So with that being said, we appreciate everybody coming through. Key, I'll hit you up. K, I'm sorry, Dan, I keep saying Key K. I hit you up after after we sign off, and you two, Shay, and the fellas know to hang around for a little bit. But everybody, listen, we appreciate y'all coming through, and we are out. Now, thank you, we out.
They keep asking me where I'm from. I said I'm from the A, but it's not Atlanta. It's the A for AUG. If you from that town, stand up, then turn up. I'm from that town, where everybody walking around with hammers. I'm from that town. We all get slept on like pajamas. I'm from that town. The A, but no, it's not Atlanta. I'm from that town. Just listen how I talk my country grammar. From that town. AUG, I reside, niggas running high. With that laser on my side with 4 holes on my side. They